Year of the Mecha returns. Everything hopefully working and not fucking up so I can show off what is the best game of first generation Armored Core, let alone one of the top 5 games in the entire Armored Core series.
Yeah, you have been hyping this up, so I am excited to see this, as this is the end of my PS1 Armored Core journey.
Yeah, just all 3 games. It's the well, like, I obviously like to think of Project Phantasma and this as being like the standalone expansions, but even then, it's like the full first gen Armored Core experience is only complete when you like see all 3 games and just how everything's kind of built up to them like perfecting this particular generation's rule sets and mechanics.
Hmm.
So let's get underway.
I was gonna ask if they made any major changes, but I guess you'll show that off soon.
Yeah. There's some stuff. There will be like a lot of it. You could like if you were put it onto a list, it would seem kind of minor, but you see it in action, and I can guarantee you won't make the mistake like you did initially with Project Phantasma, where you thought I just loaded up the previous game again.
Yeah, that just felt like, oh wait, did we just do this again? Didn't we just do this?
I can at least say like the first thing like this game definitely does that shows that it's showing a bit of a glow up from previous games. This is where the CG openings for Armored Core games finally become cool.
Oh. All right. I'm already digging this.
You obviously can't see it, but I am just like bopping my head to this track right now.
Yeah, already. This is a strong opening. This track's a bop.
Yeah, Apex and Circles. The name is the name of the track. I want to say it was composed by Kota Hoshino, or it might have been others, because there have been like multiple people at FromSoft that do the music throughout the Armored Core series. But like Kota Hoshino is like a prominent contributor, mostly because anyone that has heard the name and is familiar with FromSoft's older catalog, they'll recognize the name of it being like, oh, that's the composer who says that like he doesn't know how to read sheet music.
Wait, isn't that the Resident Evil guy?
No. That one was like a hack fraud who like basically had someone else do the music as like a ghostwriter. Yeah. It's like, no,
right.
Hoshino does music and is legit. It's just that like he operates on a completely bizarre, untraditional wavelength, which makes him weirdly fitting for FromSoft's like design. But like this whole scene is just, yeah, everything's been gearing up for. I mean, you're seeing what the game's all about. It's gearing up for who you really want to take down. The number one Raven in the arena, Hustler 1, Nine-Ball. Yeah, the subtitle Master of Arena is very specific because they took the idea of what they introduced in Project Phantasma with the arena mode, and were like, that's actually really awesome. Fighting against other ACs is great. Let's make that integral to the plot now. And I will load like my save file that has all of like my equipment and stuff and like money, all that stuff that I have accrued over the past 2 games. But I do want to start on New Game just because it does give you like a little bit of like intro text for like what the story is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need a name.
You want to be a Raven? The network. This is still early enough in like the internet being a thing. So yeah, that's why we need to fight Nine-Ball. It's actually revenge. We need to kill him.
So Nine-Ball is more of like a reoccurring figure here.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'll admit, I always kind of get this screwed up because, like, I know that it's, like, Ravens and, like, their ACs are technically different names. Like, I refer to Nine-Ball, but, like, as if it's the pilot, but that obviously means it's, like, it's the AC, but considering their reputation in universe, it might as well be kind of synonymous. Because it's, like, Hustler 1 is the #1 ranked Raven in this universe. His AC 9-Ball is absolutely feared. And apparently, like, in this backstory, our family got caught in the crossfire of him on one of his missions, and we have not let it down ever since.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. The whole revenge plot kind of makes sense, Led.
Yeah, it's a simple start, but obviously by the end of it, you can kind of, you'll see that, like, things don't stay as simple as that. As far as just kind of digging into just who the hell is Nine-Ball. Yeah, but that's like the intro to it. We're getting back to like my actual AC with my almost 10 million credits. Perfect success record.
Damn, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I just noticed we got the same menu music from the last 2 games.
Yeah, but different aesthetics, which honestly, I'm fine with that. Like, there's been different menu musics throughout, like, the history of Armored Core, but I don't think any of them have ever been as perfect as Shape Memory Alloys. Like this, this is one of those themes that to me is Armored Core.
So what's different here? Is there anything different?
Mostly like some new parts here and there that are like ones that I have unlocked from competing in the game's arena, or arenas, I should say, because so this is just to get into your head like how absolutely insane and over the top FromSoft went on like just highlighting how cool the arena concept is that you know, we have the regular arena, which I'm already at the top of, obviously. There's, like, the main arena, which is, like, actual ranked opponents. But then, like, you have, I just hit R1. I have then the sub-arena, which is basically... Yeah, which is basically where the rest of the people go who aren't good enough to be in the top 15, and you can actually go about fighting whichever opponent you want in whatever order. And there are actually moments in the game where it is like you just don't get any new missions for the time being, so you have to actually go through the arena. Because as part of the story, initially, at the top of this rank would have been Hustler 1, Nine-Ball. So the idea is that if you wanted a chance of actually killing him, you're going to have to go through the arena. And go through it, you do.
Huh.
But there's also these 2 other options, as you might see, with like the prompt at the bottom for disc change. This is a 2-disc game. Because
wait. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because the second disc is all dedicated to a bunch of bonus arena modes, as well as the ability to build your own custom arena ladder.
Huh. Wait. Your own custom arena ladder?
Yeah, it's like you could set up like custom opponents and like arrange them on a ranked ladder like you saw in the main arena, and then just challenge them if you want. You could even like kind of like set their AI on different parameters and whatnot. Well, we'll definitely show that later. It's just that it won't be as immediate as it would be if I were playing on an original PS1, because PS3, despite letting you play PS1 games, it doesn't really allow you to do like the disc change unless it's like the PS1 classics that you download where it's programmed in. So it's like you kind of have to basically back out to the system menu. Because like, yeah. I mean, it's clear enough how big of an Armored Core fan I am that I own physical copies of like all the mainline games up to this point. I don't even care about owning any more PS1 games past this. It's just like I care about this series so much that it's like, yeah, I jumped on the opportunity to buy these first 3 games when I could, and I did.
Hey, we all... Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, we all got our series we care that much about, so I get you.
Yeah. And even like when you go into like the test mode, things are a little bit different as far as the arena, because in the first game,
combat system,
like the arena that you went into to like test your AC was the same one that you had for your Raven initiation at the start of the first game, the one that just like throws you in the deep end without being able to like see the options or controls.
Yep.
But here at least it's like they changed up the arena. It's still the same
Target
two
demolished.
enemies,
Test
but
mode
I mean it looks
disengaged.
nicer. That said, though, I think we obviously want to see, you know, some real missions going on.
Yeah.
Although, I think I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, yeah, I just needed to deactivate and reactivate my capture source because I think, unfortunately, I'm hitting another issue of audio desyncing once again.
Oh no.
But, I mean, whatever. Again, it's like I'll take it over things crashing or whatever the hell. Also, hi, Arian. Hi, thanks for stopping by. You picked a good Saturday to drop by to see one of the best Armored Core games. Now let's see if I can remember if this is the correct one. Yeah, because I think this is the first mission of the game. Where it's just, we gotta find, like, some fugitive who's a hacker, because Armored Core is also secretly a cyberpunk franchise.
Yep. I mean, one of the missions of the first game, like you taking off some, was it protesters or people?
Yeah, squatters.
No.
Squatters that were just taking up space at some zone that a corporation, like, kind of wanted to, like, set up and, like, renovate for.
Yeah.
I dropped into chat and we had the tech difficulties talked about last week, talking about peak time. Well, I mean, like, not nearly as bad as it was last time. Like, I think, like the audio issue is fixed. And OBS has not been crashing on me as of late. So I'd say everything, like, the scuff has gone back to, like, a minimal amount. And yes, Armored Core is a From Software franchise. Some would say their most important and best. No further comment. So yeah, let's just go through this. We gotta go through, like, this botanical zone. Which, you know,
say,
like, definitely never saw anything like this in the first game.
Combat system engaged.
I think the thing I've been noticing from these, like, watching these games so far, like,
as this is your first job,
is that as little story as there is, what we get is kind of really dark.
Yeah. Yeah, like, there's all kinds of stuff from, like, even the first game where you kind of, like, get glimpses of, like, what all the different organizations are. You know, not just with the, like, the two mega corporations that are warring with each other, but also all the other sub-factions that are, like, and kind of, like, what their stake is in the corporate war.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely shows, like, there's no good people. Like, the closest you can have to good people in this universe, I would argue, are the Ravens. And even then, they're still, like, mercenary to their very core.
Yep. You gotta do what you can in this world, I guess. So...
yeah. At least when it comes to being a Raven, you're not under the yoke of, like, any big, like, entity that wants you to do, like, their things exclusively for them.
Yeah. So is there, like... is there any, like, gameplay differences here, or is it just the same game?
Just same gameplay, more refinements, like some of the, definitely, like, a lot of the weapons and parts that you got that were exclusive to Project Phantasma got heavy rebalance.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Arian talking about, like, wanting FromSoft to kind of make more of the stuff like they did in the old days, like Shadow Tower, and in the Xbox game you're thinking of is Otogi.
I keep forgetting Otogi is a FromSoft game.
Yeah, they made two of those. They're okay. I do think it is one of those FromSoft games that's maybe gassed up a bit more than I would prefer, just because it's like, I mean, like, they look nice for the system, but gameplay as far as, like, action hack and slash, whatever you want to call it, isn't all that to home to write about.
They did also make Ninja Blades.
Yep, yeah, it brings up a good point. Again, that everyone always seems to bring up as if the name itself is the joke without even realizing just how, like, they probably have never even actually seen what gameplay of it is. They probably don't even know that Michael Wilson Sr. is a character in that game who breaks himself out of his own hostage situation.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I did not make that up. I mean, there was the joke in Metal Wolf Chaos where, like, there's a statue of Michael Wilson's dad in front of the White House, which is supposed to be the obvious, like, George Bush and George Bush Sr., like, joke, because Metal Wolf Chaos is a satirical masterpiece.
Yeah, it's it's amazing how prescient that game is even now.
Yeah, we're rapidly approaching the end of the first quarter of the 21st century. And much like in that game, freedom is rapidly becoming dead in America. Alright, now we can actually go through that gate.
Yeah.
So being the most badass normal person in the game was a fun moment. I know, it's like it's such a it is a genuine great highlight. It's the sort of thing that reminds you how it was like, like FromSoft obviously does not have like strict structured like teams the way that people seem to like constantly insist was the case when like talking about how Dark Souls 2 is so inferior or other bullshit like that, the whole A-team B-team shit. But you can at least tell that there are like key people that carry on certain ideas that they are fond of. And you can tell that there were like key people that got carried over, going from like Otogi to Metal Wolf Chaos to Enchanted Arms and to Ninja Blade. Like it was basically just people that were like, yeah, we want to make games for the Xbox system because that seems neat.
Yeah. I still remember like back in the day when FromSoft was considered like a joke company to some people, and by some people I mostly mean the old Giant Bomb guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, God bless Vinny for being the only one brave enough to play Demon Souls when everyone else wouldn't.
Yeah, I still remember like when they were trying out Dark Souls and they were thinking they were getting pranked by how people were like talking it up that in Demon Souls. But things are so much different now.
Yeah. And now that type of game is all they ever do, and it's become boring, and I fucking hate Miyazaki for it, especially for his involvement on 2 particular Armored Core games that we are not going to play on this series. Never mind that. Let's focus on more positive things, like Master of Arena.
I just want to say I do not share the opinions, but we will move on. Anyways.
I'll always be one to, like, go on, like, some, like, tirades as far as like my opinions on certain games, but I know that can be exhausting even for myself. So,
well, so like, I'm just wondering, like, what makes this game your favorite?
A lot of it is the arena focus, I would say, because it's definitely the sort of thing where you have like there's a lot of customization with the gameplay, obviously, and like how you design your AC. But having it go up against another AC is usually the best way to get the most out of it compared to even regular enemies.
Ah.
So having an entire disc that is dedicated to that, and like some of those custom arenas having their own like special kind of... Well, he's dead.
Whoa.
Looking for me. I don't care who you are. No one can defeat me.
See you later, fucker.
There he goes.
He's the one you've been looking for, huh?
Yeah.
I need to talk to you later. Return to base.
Nine-Ball's not only an important
Battle
character,
over.
but also our operator,
Combat
Lana
system
Nielsen.
disengaged.
Man, I know that voice. Yeah, it's like... So, here's something. Like, this took me years to kind of narrow down, like, how I kind of recognize these voice actors, even though I don't know their names. And it has to do with, like, who the company is that is responsible for localizing these games. Like this was the moment in the series where Armored Core and a good number of other FromSoft games as well, primarily their PS2 releases, where they actually got localized by a company called H-Tech. And I'm pretty sure they've also like done localizations for other weird niche like Japanese games that like other big publishers would probably have like balked at, like just be like, this is a joke, but it's just the sort of thing where they're like, no, we can bring this over. There's an audience for this, however small it is. Like I choose to think of H-Tech these days as being like the successor to like working designs, but without the desire to actively fuck with the game balance to combat game rentals. But that also like means they seem to employ a lot of the same voice actors, which I think this will probably blow your mind, but also make a lot of sense afterwards when I say a good number of the voice actors that have like been on H-Tech localized games, including Armored Core, you can recognize them in a game like Deadly Premonition.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They're still keeping up, still doing that even today.
Yeah. Some of those I can also confirm. At least one of them, I think it was like the person that would voice George Woodman in Deadly Premonition had as like a voice. I think it's the voice of your main character in like an opening monologue for Disaster Report, like the very first Disaster Report on PS2. And I don't know if it's the case where like all these people just happen to be in range of the same like recording studio that's in America, or if they're actually like expats living in Japan or something like that. I have no idea, because it has like all of them have like that exact same sort of level of like awkwardness and kind of like not fully professional line delivery that you would get from like other, you know, like voice casting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can tell, like, going from, like, the casting that, like, shows up in something like Metal Gear, like the old Metal Gear games, or even, like, older, like, or Silicon Knights games, like, back before Dennis Dyack took them under. Is like, yeah, you can tell that, like, these the agencies that are pulling these actors are clearly Canadian. It's that sort of thing. Anyway, let's try our hands at another. Let's see. Oh, I think it's still getting desynced more and more. Shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just want to find like a. Oh, this is the one. This is a pretty good one. So you remember how I showed in the first game the giant MT that we fight, the Devastator, the one where it's like I got up close to it for a size comparison. I think I was about the size of its ankle.
Yeah, I remember that.
We got another big giant target that we got to destroy, and it's a giant tank.
Oh. Is this gonna go down as quickly as the other one?
A little bit. It's less about dealing just raw damage to the center mass, and it's more like just destroying all of its like defensive capabilities and like weapons to make it inoperable is the idea. But yeah, it's much different from fighting ACs or MTs. It is still appropriately huge. And also, safety level, 32. A contrast to the safety level of 94 on that first mission. I still love that they got this idea for several games to be like, yeah, we'll tell you what the threat level for the mission is, like what your odds of survival is going to be. But like, so like the missions in this game, as far as quantity, are obviously still less than they are in the first game. But they have a lot more thought and kind of clever scripting put into them now compared to, I feel, what was in Project Phantasma. And oh Jesus, oh God.
There's a lot of particle effects happening.
Yeah. Although, if I can just get... Oh shit, fuck. Well...
Is this thing even shooting at you now?
I mean, I think it was mostly like, it was like the big vertical fucking launcher that was like... I'm trying to see if I could get like this plasma dispenser to line up, but I don't know. It probably will have better luck if I were to just put it through its paces in an arena match or something, I guess is the idea, because it is absolutely a... Okay, there's just one more turret. Yeah.
Battle over. Combat system disengaged.
Is that it?
Yeah. Like, the hard part about it, obviously, is that these things hurt a lot when they hit you. So the challenge is in the approach, which I do like. It's at least nice. It's a nice alternative to, like, you know, if you really knew the Devastator was coming in Armored Core 1, you could just, like, hang back and, like, not even try to get close to it. Have an easier time kind of, like, dodging its attacks and whatnot. But I always like doing the risky thing with that mission where I just... where, like, I try and get on top of it and remove, like, the vertical missile launcher. So that way, like, since I'm inside its center mass, technically, the turrets cannot turn around to hit me, is the idea.
Ah.
Now, let's see what other ones I can find that work, because I'm thinking of... I'm almost tempted for to do board spaceship, because it is on a spaceship that I think is, like, stuck technically in orbit, but, like, it's kind of a fucked up, like, level layout that I'm not too fond of, so I think I'll just skip it. I don't know. It's kind of an annoying maze, I guess it was. I'm trying to find, like, there's, like, another... No, I think that one's a bit too late. Yeah, because, like, these last three are technically, I think, part of the, Okay, no, this one is from the middle of the game, which is kind of an important moment. Because, as you get through the game, you don't have initially any access to the arena. You just have to do regular missions. And then, eventually, you get offered a sponsorship by a company called ProcTech. And, like, if you meet the qualifications for the sponsorship, which is to do a choice of any 3 missions for them, which is to say, like, hey, take any of these 3 missions that are designed to remove an enemy, remove a combatant from the sub-arena so you can take his place. Yeah, you get a sponsorship by killing some other guy that is, just so you can have your seat at the table.
You know what? That sounds like Armored Core.
It does. It really does.
That's fucking in line with what I've known so far.
Yeah. But the thing is that, yeah, you get the sponsorship that allows you to participate in the arena, and a rule with the Raven's Nest in this game in particular is that, like, all of the missions that you get have to be vetted by the Nest itself and then sent to you as far as, like, we have approved that these missions are legit. Do you accept the contents of them? However, as you go through the game, ProcTech starts circumventing that process entirely and starts contacting you for emergency missions like this one because they become under attack by unknown forces. And, not gonna lie, that does get you into trouble. It's kind of, it gets you into trouble as part of the plot, but it's trouble nonetheless. All these jumping bastards.
Enemy units detected near gate 3.
This looks like a pain to actually get a good shot in.
Yeah, not too bad.
Got it.
Yeah. Now then, I'm trying to remember because... Okay.
Detected near gate 1. Destroy them immediately.
Yep, yeah, you just gotta go around to, like, wherever the, where like, your communications are telling me there are enemies. Of course, you could just fly around if you got, like, a decent radar, like what I got here. There we go. But as this is also Armored Core, as I'm sure you are aware as well, is that things they never stay as simple as what you are led to believe based on the mission briefing.
No, I've noticed that this game likes just screwing with you constantly.
Yeah, something that's kind of like on the level of, you know, like the Bam Presto reinforcements, as you would call them in like a Super Robot Wars game, where it's like, finally done with that wave, the mission's over. What do you mean that they've respawned?
I know exactly what you meant the moment you said Bad Presto Wave.
Oh wow, we in this oh my god, we are joined by the indelible Madame Gata. Holy shit.
Hello. It's nice to see you.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you get to see me playing one of my favorite Armored Core games. And oh shit, look who's back.
Why are you?
It's him. It's Nine-Ball.
Yeah. Die in a fire, motherfucker.
That was... I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead there.
Oh, we're absolutely doing great. I'm definitely having fun as far as just getting to show this off. Especially as part of, as I called it, Neff's initiation into Armored Core from like the first generation.
Powerful modification is necessary.
I will say, like...
Battle over.
I guess I was...
Combat
like,
system disengaged.
These games are, like, old in the way most PS1 games are old, but they still look like they hold up really well in a way. Like, they still look like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
If that makes...
Yeah, they still play well. Granted, you like get your control set up the way you like, because I've definitely established when I showed off the first game that I do not stick with the default layout. I have my own custom layout of R2 and L2 for moving forward and backwards like it's a tank.
Yeah.
But I actually want to show as well, just for like some extra context as well. I think it's it was one of these. Hold on. Yeah, these are all sort of emails, but okay, I was trying to find the initial one, but I think this is the one that is supposed to show off, like, after you complete the mission that we just completed. I've never heard of that kind of control layout, but compared to L2, R2 to look up and down, it makes sense. Yeah, see? Like, every time I explain it to someone, you know, like, it gets, like, it's like flipping a switch in their brain that kind of makes the... I guess the intimidation of playing these older Armored Core games like pre-dual analog not as intimidating, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the message. You are warned not to accept any direct requests without my approval. I am no longer acting as your contact. In fact, I'm cutting off all support to you. Good luck.
You'll die soon.
And you know what's the extra kicker? She is not kidding, because when you get to that point in the game and you select mission, you get a prompt that says... There are no missions for you right now.
What?
Yeah. Fucking blew my mind first time playing it. Like I knew like the whole idea with the arena where it's like you can't access it right away. You have to earn a sponsorship to get a place in the arena and work your way through it. It's like, cool, that makes sense. That is a much better way of handling it than in Project Phantasma, where a player who's good enough could presumably cheese the whole thing, earn 3 million credits or more or whatever. I mean, like, just an insane amount of money and just buy whatever parts they need before taking on the main game. But then it just throws a swerve at you where it's like, no, you are not doing any more missions right now. You have only one option left. Fight in the arena and survive.
Holy shit, that's kind of mind-blowing. Like, I'm thinking about this in the perspective of someone who's played like the game Armored Core 1 from the beginning.
Yeah.
And getting here and just getting to that part.
Yeah, it surprised me so much, because it is like, and obviously looking at it afterwards, it's like, okay, yeah, obviously that's a thing that's scripted as part of the game. There's obviously no way to get around that, because the other thing that gets in the way is that when you get the emergency requests from ProgTech, they temporarily revoke your access to the arena because they're your sponsor. And they're like, no, you can't put this off. We're the ones paying for you to be there. Help us out. Yeah.
Sorry, you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm. So, and there's like all kinds of other, and that's usually the point of no return, where it is like all the missions you get after that point are explicitly from ProgTech, and that's whenever they're in a pinch, because surprise, surprise, they keep getting attacked by Nine-Ball for seemingly no reason. It's particularly going after like their chief scientist is the idea. But actually, just because like I know I want to take some time to show off like the second disc, and like getting that loaded up is going to be a bit of a process. I am actually just going to go straight to the final mission, because just to summarize, it's like you keep working through the arena, you keep doing emergency requests for ProcTech. One of those does result in you seemingly killing Nine-Ball, but then you look at the arena and then you're like, hold on, he's still listed at number 1. What the hell?
So there's a twist. As
Yeah.
there always is, right?
There's always a twist, and then the final mission you get, as you'll find, is not from ProcTech, but it's from Lana Nielsen, your liaison.
Huh.
So I'm specifically trying to like dig back up like the parts that I need for this particular mission, because like what you see is mostly like the loadout that I would use on all the other missions, but I have been hyping up how exactly difficult the final mission of this game is. That I need to suit up with something a bit more heavy. So I just need to find. Okay, yeah, that's the. Yeah, those are the arms. I do like these particular designs just because of how, even though it has no gameplay applications, I always found it cool that like the forearm kind of has what is like a built-in shield, you know? Like in another game where it would have had like a more distinct melee focus or something like that, you could have like had a sort of defend mechanic with these sort of things. And we get some heavier legs. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure that it's like, because I've 100% of these games, I'm positive I could have just like gone with an overweight AC if I wanted, but I still like playing by the rules just because I did it before that way, and I got better at the game, so it's like, why not? So...
Yeah, I get that. It's
there it is. I think it's still... whatever. Desyncs, it's a pain, whatever. But it's hardly the worst of the problems. So get out my gold-plated generator because it's gold. Yeah, Gata understands.
You are doing the final mission, so you gotta fancy yourself up a little.
Yeah, even though the gold aspect of it is like, it's an internal part, so no one's gonna be able to see it. Okay. Now then, find the correct boosters. It is a shame, unfortunately, that like the like after playing so much of like the later games, obviously you do realize that, oh yeah, the trying to get through these menus where like selecting these many parts, it does kind of slow down after a while. So
That's so many parts by then.
yeah, I mean, this is my completed save file where I had enough money to finally just buy out everything in the shop that I wanted. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I know one of the things I have is... Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not one of the... Yeah, it's not a laser cannon I need, but it's a missile weapon. So I just... Yeah, because I wrote down as, like, a handy reminder, like, exactly, like, what weapons I needed. And then I remembered the naming scheme, where it's, like... You see, like, the first two letters. We're at WR. You know, W's weapon. R stands for rockets, because we're obviously at the rocket selection right now. But we need a WM weapon. We need proper missiles. So, and the missile in question is definitely a godsend for, well, especially when it's the final mission and it's like, you have so much money that you no longer care about trying to be stingy with using energy weapons all the time. But there are different missile weapons out there that have all kinds of, you know, like firing trajectories and whatnot.
Yeah.
Multi-missiles are where it's at.
Ha ha ha. Is it because it's a lot of missiles? All the missiles?
Yeah, it's basically you lock on once and then you just fire like one missile that splits into multiple, as opposed to you stack multiple locks and each lock is an individual missile. Like
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, missiles are very much oh yeah, and because we don't want to get into any sort of melee situation at this point, we don't need the moonlight laser for this. It's fine. And I believe, yeah, we do need just an extra good radar in this case. Yeah, for real. It's like once you get to like the PS2 games, even the ones like near the end of the PS2, like Nexus and Last Raven. What's wrong with a melee situation? The enemies we're going up against are definitely better at melee than I am. That it's a lose-lose. That's why. If this were any other mission, I would absolutely keep it. Oh wait, I just skipped past it. Yeah, this fancy little thing right here. Dang indeed. Oh wait, hold on. I think it is still technically overweight. You know, who cares? Forget I said anything. Because I think it'll still let me launch because I've already done 100% on at least one of these games that particular condition has unlocked. Oh, yeah, we could at least show up the optional parts menu, which I don't think I'd ever really shown in the previous two AC games because I never switched out my core. But, like, the core, the central piece of the AC has these things that are, like, optional slots.
Yeah, I don't think you've shown these off before.
Yeah, but the idea is that each core, which is, like, the chest torso piece, has a different amount of, like, slots available that you can use. Yeah, I was just double checking to make sure that was the right one. But yeah, it's like each core has a different amount of optional slots. The one I have has a lot of armor to it, but unfortunately that means the amount of optional slots that I have for these parts are very few. So if you were playing with a build where you wanted a lot of these different modifiers, like, you know, adding a missile indicator to your radar, or automatically launching your missiles once you have acquired a lock-on, for instance. You know, because that's nice, because otherwise, once you get the lock, you have to manually press the button to fire. Doing things to decrease impact shock, which is like when you land on the ground, something like that. Although, yeah, I might still keep that up because I do need my energy output to be as high as possible.
It sounds like it's going to be a really rough mission with how much we're preparing for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this build has gotten me through it fine enough. It's what I used on the Let's Play that I did for this game ages and ages ago on the Something Awful forums. Whenever I watch games with older graphics, I wonder why I'd ever need fancy photorealism, which nowadays just looks bland and boring. Yeah, and sometimes unreadable in a lot of situations that you have to build up like some new kind of dumb contrivances to make it work. Yeah, like yellow tape. Yes, I am referring to the Resident Evil 4 remake. Or really just any Resident Evil in general these days. All right.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Gata sassing me for shit-talking the current hotness that is the remake of the greatest game ever that didn't need to be remade.
That remake is really good, though. It's not a replacement.
Well, yeah, it's like, like I could see it, and people are like, oh, like they put a lot of time and care and effort into it, and it's like, yeah, they put a lot of time and effort and care into something that was ultimately not still justified in the end for spending that amount of effort. But cool, I guess. Come on, look at how cool Ashley looks. Fashion. Yeah, but I can still get like a similar outfit by modding it into the PC version because it's supported by the HD project. Checkmate, atheists. Yeah. Gata and I do go back and forth on just fucking rubbing each other. just riffing on just on the things we like. Just don't get her started on Razor's Edge. Just don't.
I will not answer.
You think they'll go the insanity route and remake 5 and 6 as well? I hope not. The only remake I'll accept for 6 is that they just keep the exact same characters and common mechanics and mercenaries mode and just remove everything else. Sell only that. Just take Resident Evil 6 and be like, yeah, it's just mercenaries. Hey, I'm a Laserdisc warrior and proud of it, motherfucker. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh, yeah, the final mission.
Yeah, you were showing off the final mission.
Yeah, Lana contacted us and just being like, yeah, all the shit that you've been seeing, you know, with like the with Hustler 1, the arena rankings, all that shit. Something's something's wrong, right? You figured it out? If not, come find me at an unknown factory. Mission area unknown.
Security levels.
Nothing.
Yep.
No chance. That's what you got. Talking about Razor's Edge was the thing I'll never do in front of Ark again. True. And by the end of this stream series, talking about 4th Gen Armored Core will also be in that category.
I have no
But never mind that.
Even as.
Why do you insist on interfering?
So this is kind of lame how I do it, but I need to preserve as much AP as possible. Gata taking the maximum of risks at my own expense.
Wait, are we talking about Ninja Gaiden Razor's Edge?
Yes.
Because that's bad.
Oh, it is. Yes. I'm glad you have my side on this one.
Ninja Gaiden 3 is bad. I'm sorry.
It is bad, and people are like, "Oh, but Razor's Edge was actually good." It's like, yeah, but you replaced the diarrhea with like a solid turd. I don't care. It's still shit.
I'll disagree with Ark on a lot of things, but not that one. That's okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to start the war.
Oh wow! He Nine-Ball just blew himself up. Saved me the trouble.
What the fuck? What?
I think it was because his AI went a bit crazy, just like flying around, shooting his back-mounted grenade launcher, and like he couldn't go past the door, so he just kept blowing himself up on the wall.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah,
Good job.
like Arian gets it, where it is because of the fact that he and I are like on the same Discord with like a lot of DMC fans, and like everyone knows about like the contention, the controversy of the Ninja Theory reboots, and it's like yeah, my reaction to it is similar to how like a lot of DMC fans still react to like just even the mention of that reboot, but like my hate I still feel is ultimately more justified because the reboot obviously was not the way forward because they still made actual DMC fucking 5.
Yeah. Also, I thought that game was okay, even when it came out. It was just okay.
Yeah. That's all of this. It's just okay. It's mid.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you,
Gata also understands that.
Yeah. Also, I'm blaming most of it on Inafune, as I do with most of games at that time.
You are right to do. Yeah. Anyway, with Lana talking to us, who also started to sound a lot like Hustler 1, that's because Lana and Hustler are the same. There's not just one Nine-Ball. There are multiple AI-controlled Nine-Balls.
What?
So it's like, the whole idea is that there would never be anyone, even if someone got lucky and destroyed actual Nine-Ball, either in a mission or the arena, he would still come back, and then he would kill you for even daring to think that you killed him.
So there's just multiple Nine-Balls.
Yeah, because the idea is that Nine-Ball is the only thing that is deserving, that is capable of like keeping humanity on track and avoiding the great destruction, like a repeat of that horrific event that nearly wiped out the human race.
Huh.
Getting back to the themes we talked about all the way in the first game of how much control is too much and how much freedom can you give one individual before it just ruins everything.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, and that's right, Gata. Arian is actually kind of working on his own game project, actually. I see like the bits and pieces of it as he works on it. He's definitely more motivated at trying to do that shit than I am.
Bring chaos.
So how about fighting 2 9-balls at once?
2 9-balls for the price of 1. Yeah, that makes sense with a fucking AI twist.
Yeah. Now, oh god, I don't know if this will ultimately work out in my favor because I just want both of them to die, please. Please. Oh god.
Wait, is this just the final mission? Is this like you're fighting a bunch of 9
Oh, no.
balls?
Oh, well, I fucked up.
Oh no. Well,
Defense is damaged.
oh, there goes your
Combat
perfect
returns
records.
to the next.
Well, okay, you know, actually, I'm gonna salvage this because, I need to load up, like, I need to get a hold of, like, my, my Let's Play that I did for this game, because I think, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the, because I at least have, like, the footage on hand for just this occasion. It is a YouTube video, admittedly, but it'll have to do. But, like, basically what you saw right there is, like, that was the moment before, like, the game basically transitions you to, like, a new mission area and actually refills all of your health and ammo. Which is nice, I should say. Because what comes after that is especially fucked. I'm just going to... hold on. This is kind of annoying, though, because of how it's, like... Oh, I think OBS running actually is kind of, like, fucking up my ability to, like, get the, it's kind of messing around with, like, my browser, trying to just get, like, the video itself. But, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna get it, like, directly from, like, my playlist. Should have been more prepared for this. I probably should have actually gone and, like, re-downloaded the video instead of having to pull up, like, a fucking YouTube, like, URL for the entire video. Let me see. Yeah, but I also just need to get... Yeah, hopefully that should be fine, because I'm gonna do this as like a window capture. Okay, hold on. Or no, like no, display capture rather.
Yeah.
Which, okay. Okay, good. It did default to like my first monitor. So let me remember to adjust the size of it. You might start to see it coming into frame, actually.
Yeah. I see it. It's coming.
Yep.
You know, when you think about it, you technically played this, so this still counts.
Yeah.
He's true.
Definitely. All right, let's turn off the capture as well. Also make sure for OBS audio it's picking up like my browser, since it is pulling the audio directly from that. Now hopefully this works. Like, just assume that I survived that 2-on-1 fight and this is what came after. I take it you're hearing it?
Modifying program, final level.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Fuck, I
All
thought
system checks are complete.
It's kind of
it kind of quiet. And that just might be a result of like the audio. That it was
Combat mode
recorded
is
at.
now engaged.
Does it sound more clear now?
I can't actually hear anything. There's
Oh,
like
shit.
no audio coming from my. Apparently, they have game sounds.
Okay. Well, they'll at least get to appreciate
yeah.
the music.
So this is like the last half. The next
Yeah.
half.
Target verified. Commencing hostilities.
Nine-Ball again.
Nine-Ball Seraph.
Oh my god.
This is his final form. With the ultimate theme, the most anxiety-inducing piece of Armored Core music composed by Kota Hoshino, who I name-dropped at the start of this stream. Simply titled 9. Just, man is going absolutely ham on the piano, sits electronica, as this fucker is bombarding you with every manner of explosive energy weapons and dual laser swords, I should add.
Oh my god.
And the only way he's able to survive that was because of the multi-missiles.
Well, I've got the track on another screen. I got it up on YouTube, and it's indeed a very funky track.
Yeah, melee was never going to be an option for this. Man, looking at this again, it's like, God, the recording quality I had for this back in 2015 sucks so much. And one neat thing with this as well is, yeah, as you see it, like as the CG nears the end, Nine-Ball Seraph is still not done yet. But it does not mean that it's going into a new boss fight. It's just desperately trying to get at you, even though he's falling apart. And the music that's playing during this is actually the very first piece of music you hear in the CG opening for the first Armored Core. So,
oh wow,
it's effectively a bookend for this entire generation.
So, you were mentioning how like Nine-Ball is like one of the most his characters are like the most well known.
Yes.
I can absolutely see why now.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's already. Yeah, oh yeah, and here's the final dialogue. After a mysterious explosion, a single raven was seen departing the arena. Not long after, all Raven's nest functions ceased completely. Oh, and it just went right on to the credits. I forgot because like it was still playing the. I had to go straight to the playlist so it auto plays. Fucking whatever. Anyway, we don't need that display capture anymore. Okay, we can finally get back to the main programming, as it were. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack with Nine-Ball, because obviously that mission, you fight 3 in total, you know? Like, there's the one at the very start, and then there's, like, the 2 at the same time, which feels like kind of a do-over of that concept that they were trying to do in the first game, where, like, you know, you fought the first Nine-Ball in a big vertical shaft, and then you repeated the exact same thing because you were like, what? I thought I killed you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is now more direct, where it's like, no, there are multiple Nine-Balls. Hustler 1 is an AI who is shared with Landon Nielsen, which is also designed to kind of parallel how, like, your main contact in the first Armored Core game, who was referred to as R, was also the AI that you blew up at the end of that game. I weirdly think of Master of Arena as being kind of like almost like a soft reboot in and of itself to the first game. Like, it was like them wanting to kind of have a do-over of what they were trying to get into thematically with that first game. Because the events of this game absolutely do factor into what happens in, like, not just, like, in-universe events, like for Armored Core 2, for instance, because second gen takes place in the same timeline. But even when the series starts to move on to, like, rebooting the timeline itself, they still highlight that the legacy of Nine-Ball is something that exists on a metatextual level. Anyway, I think next thing I'm going to do, actually, is quit the game so I can load in the second disc and show off what's on that side. But I guess to kind of explain a bit more with things related to Nine-Ball, because, spoiler alert, I'm not going to play Armored Core 2 or its sequel, Another Age, for this series. Like, the next time we get to Armored Core, it's going to jump straight to 3rd gen. It's not because I hate 2nd gen to the same degree that I do 4th. It's just that, like, in all the years I've continued to try replaying that over the years, I found that the 2nd gen kind of bores me, like, with each revisit, because I see more and more problems, just from, like, game balancing and technical performance.
That's fair.
Yeah. But at least an important detail to kind of highlight with Armored Core 2 that shows, like, the kind of timeline linking between it. The idea with Armored Core 2 is that it takes place several decades after humanity started to move back towards reclaiming the surface, which is something that is kind of implied to, it basically would not have been likely to have fully happened if someone didn't come around and completely destroy the system that was keeping humanity under control underground. Which was us, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And so, like, basically, it's no longer the Raven's Nest, it's Nerve's Concord, I believe, is, like, the name of the new Raven organization that is for mercenaries that are doing jobs on Mars, because, the traditional government, it has its hands on Earth, so they're like, so the corporations are like, well, fuck it, we can't play around down here the same way we used to. Hey, new fertile ground for colonization and shit, because everyone is an imperialist asshole. And in that, the arena is reestablished, but there is a new term that is established along with it, and it's something that's retroactively applied to our main character, called the Ninebreaker. Because it is the term, it is a title, much in the same way in that Naked Snake was awarded the title of Big Boss for surpassing the boss. Ninebreaker was applied to the one who is able to break Nine-Ball.
Sure, that's a fun way to, like, put in some continuity.
And it's ultimately then, like, it's a title that's passed on to basically whoever is not technically the strongest ever, like, definitively, because the idea ultimately is that, like whoever is seen as the strongest Raven, their time will eventually come where they do get surpassed. So it's less about that and more about the one called Ninebreaker is applied to someone who is able to top the longest running champ, which in this first generation was absolutely Hustler 1. Even though it was totally rigged because it was an AI and was basically cheating to make sure that no one could ever beat them. So, and also, just to add to that even further, that original Ninebreaker, the one that we play as in this game, he comes back as the villain in Armored Core 2, who goes by the official canon name as Leos Klein, and his motives in that game are made to explicitly kind of show that he kind of regrets his decisions because he sees what has happened now that humanity has kind of regained more of the freedom that was stifled under the AI's control, and just fucking things up on Mars again in the exact same way. Isn't Armored Core just a wonderful franchise?
What a fun series.
What an absolutely, like, positive outlook on humanity.
It's just always been like that. They're just always like that.
Anyway, this is the extra arena. We got multiple ladders to choose from. These first 4 are, I think, kind of, I'd say the cooler of the remaining ones, because, like, before this, I kind of had no reason to actually engage with any of the other leg parts besides, like, just the regular bipedal type. But these actually force you, if you want to compete in them, you actually have to use either your bipeds, your quad legs, your reverse joints, or tank, which is Caterpillar in this instance, because treads, I guess.
Sure.
But then there's also like
Drums.
champions, which, as the description says, yes, these are tournament ACs based on like top-ranking Japanese competitors from like the multiplayer circuit for Project Phantasma.
Huh.
And then
Okay,
you have
that's-
Guest, which is for ACs that were designed by Japanese game magazines such as Famitsu and Dengeki.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like, see, like, there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
whole
there it is,
team
yeah.
dedicated to just Famitsu. And then Hyper and Dengeki,
And Dengeki.
all this other stuff. And then there's one for From Software, which I remember back when I did the Let's Play for this, I was doing a lot of, like, kind of cross-checking with these names to see where they showed up in the credits for this game and, like, the series at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's... this is obviously based on Toshifumi Nabeshima, who was the director of the original game and the series producer right up until up through Verdict Today, when they subsequently stopped making these games and he left, presumably out of disgust, which is how I like to think about it. I'd be upset too. And then went over to make a deal with Square Enix and be like, "Hey, let's make Left Alive."
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I like Left Alive. It is a fantastic train wreck. I like to call it
Yeah.
the modern Deadly Premonition. Also, here's Karasawa, the man whose name christens the most powerful energy weapon in the entire series, who, ironically, doesn't actually use the Karasawa on his build. I guess he did it out of pity. He thought it would have been too on the nose or too bullshit. And this one, even though it's called Jin, and it technically should be Zin, because this is a reference to From Software's old president, their old CEO, Naotoshi Zin, who, like, was the one in charge of the company until Miyazaki made them a fuck ton of money, and that was like, you know, you could take over, I'm out.
I like how he's got like the two moonlight swords.
Yeah,
as
on
the
his
logo.
on his emblem, and
Yeah.
he's like he is tanked the fuck up.
Yeah, look at that big boy.
Left Alive. Which one was that again? That was the game set in the Front Mission universe, where it was about like trying to survive an armed conflict where like a neighboring country like just invades and mass murders everyone on a border town. It literally it's like it. Left Alive is a hilariously fucked up kind of conflation of systems that don't really work all that well together and is janky as hell, but I actually do really like the story and like the way it uses the Front Mission setting. I think people give it like people rag on it too much under the idea that it was taking the place of like a theoretical real Front Mission game, even though I look at it in the same way that it's like Judgment is set in the Yakuza universe. It takes place in Kamurocho. But it's not called Yakuza. It's not called Like a Dragon.
Yeah,
Because-
but also, go ahead.
Because these are its own characters, its own themes, its own story and priorities. It just happens to use the same, like, setting and backdrop because all the work on that on like that setting is already done for them, so they don't really need to rebuild anything.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
see,
going to
the
sit
thing
here
is
and tell me it played well. Oh, no, I am not. It does not play well.
Yeah.
It plays marginally better on PC, where, where like, you have mouse and keyboard, and you have an easier time just sliding into everyone and tripping them over their ankles so you could set them up for an immediate insta-kill. Because that's the only way. So like Vagrant Story and FF12. Yes, it's exactly like the whole Ivalice situation. Is that how you pronounce it? I think that's how you say it.
I think so. I was also gonna say the difference is like Judgment is also a good game.
Yeah. But I will also say
Left Alive.
but I will also call it in a why I say it's the modern Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition does not play fucking well at all.
No, I love Deadly Premonition. It's one of my favorite games
Yeah.
of all time.
It's in the same situation where everything is a hilarious mess, but the story is like the standout, absolute, unironic best thing about it. Left Alive story is genuinely, I'd say, really good. And I think it's like, even if, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone to play that game, but I would say certainly at least look at the story, you know?
Listen, you're talking to someone who loves trash, so I get you when you talk about Left Alive that way.
Oh no, yeah, it's all for the people in the gallery.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. And then I guess getting back to this, the last one is the Master Arena in this game called Master of Arena, which is just, hey, here's a bunch more ACs that are even harder than everything we threw up to you up to this point. All 19 of them. Good luck, fuckers. Also, you can make your own custom arena, which no data currently exists, but we can like get to that eventually. Well, I mean, like, we can show that off. This is the Ranker MK. So, as far as how this is made, you could go about this in two ways as far as how to fill this with arena, this arena with different ACs. Oh yeah, Arian remembers when I streamed Deadly Premonition like those years ago. It's like, yeah. Yeah, and that was a stream playthrough where I like challenged myself to like play that game and like do absolutely everything, every side quest, every credit card, every trading card. Yeah, all that. I did it, and I managed to do it almost no deaths, but I fucked up. I wasn't paying attention on a QTE during one of the later boss fights, and it was like, yeah, you know, I'll take that L. It's my near perfect run. Yeah, I did, Gata. Yeah, I did. Anyway, for Ranker MK, getting so distracted, but at the same time, it's so lively. I really do appreciate it, honestly. There's two ways to filling out your custom arena ladder. You could just do, like, a straight copy of, like, the current AC that you have, you know, which that's already added. Or you do AC data load, which is you would, you know, say... load the AC data from, you know, like a different save file, essentially. Including ones from previous games.
Huh. From 1 and 2.
Yeah, totally. And it's the sort of thing where, like... And I'm pretty sure this still applies as well to, like... Because there is, like, another game later in the series that also allows you to make, like, I forget if it's, like, custom, like arena ladders, or if it actually does, or if it's only just you being able to load up like different ACs to have them fight each other in like AI. Yeah, I guess okay, because one of the later games, Silent Line, has like this organic AI training system for like ACs, and I don't know about like the logistics for it, but I want to see if I could like rope some people together to like have them submit me like designs for ACs or whatever for that particular game, and like set up like a pseudo tournament, like basically like our own like a mecha version of VTCW.
Huh. That could be fun.
Yeah, it's something like that. But I mean, we'll save this temporarily just so we can like actually view this this arena ladder in the along with the rest of them. Which oh wait, hold on. I just remembered there was like one thing I actually forgot to show, but like it won't be saved with part of with the data itself, even though. Okay, God, it was taking a long time to. But yeah, under edits, say for this, for instance, we can obviously change the assembly actually, so you could do further changes to like the parts and optional parts if you want. But there is also ranker logic, which lets you adjust like aspects of their AI. Like basically by default, they're all set at like in the middle. You know, like which range they prefer, how frequently they fly, avoiding attacks, doing melee or ranged combat. I think the last Mecha game I played was Dynasty Warriors Gundam on 360, and before that Mech Warrior. I mean, just to be snobby for a moment, I guess, because that's kind of how I am among everyone I know when I talk about Mecha. I mean, I would classify Dynasty Warriors Gundam as still like a Warriors game first, like. But besides that, Rebel Point. This is something that I feel I need to actually get off my chest as far as something that I had no idea what it was for when I did the LP for this, and I was kind of explaining this. But I think years later, I finally figured out what the hell Rebel Point is. And I think this is basically a system for deciding how, like, do you want the opponents to break the rules? Do you want them to, like, be able to go into battle overweight, or have human plus enhancements, or both?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Arian that's me. The Transformers, like, War for Cybertron games all don't count to him, so, like, he understands Gundam Muso, not quite the same as just a straight-up Gundam or Mecha game. But yeah, Rebel Point. For whatever reason, it was like, I for some reason thought Rebel was like a mistranslation of level as to your overall difficulty. But I think it makes more sense that this would be like actual human plus or overweight adjustments, because it is like, I feel like this would be redundant if you were to like just boost all of these sliders up to 100% where they are at just machine-like perfection.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting thing. Obviously, a far cry from like how Silent Line does it, whereas I described it, it's literally an organic AI where the idea is you put it through its paces and it learns from how you play. And then there's Verdict Day, which was the last game, where it's basically, it doesn't go that route of organic AI, but it does add so many more options that you would think that they took a page out of, like, Art Dink's book when they made the Carnage Carnage Hearts. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. They're mecha games that I briefly considered putting on the list, but I decided against it because it's like, I like games where it's about direct control. And the thing with Carnage Hearts is that it's all about programming AI for your mecha and and tuning it so that they are guaranteed to win.
Yeah, I have not heard of that game, but that doesn't sound like the kind of mecha game I would enjoy personally.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one where it's like, I don't have, like, the programmer brain to, like, be able to, like, make something entertaining out of that.
Mm-hmm. Feels like mecha games, you need to kind of feel like you're the one at the cockpit controlling. Yeah, you're actually right on the money on that one. I generally end up like summarizing it a lot more succinctly how I describe it, where it's like a mecha is a vehicle, because I think that's like that's the best way I found to describe it, because obviously, you know, depending on the priorities of like the type of mecha you want to convey, there's going to be different levels of how weighty you want it to feel, how deliberate it should be, you know? Especially if you're wanting to make something that channels like some super robot energy where it's like, fuck the rules, I just want to do whatever's like over the top and awesome. But if you at least are able to convey through the controls that what you're playing isn't like meant to be like something that is equivalent to controlling a human character, then I think that's mission accomplished. Oh god, that audio is really delayed. Let me resync that. Okay. So I think to end this, actually, I'm going to show off. Wait, is this why you don't like Forest Budge? No, that's not part of it. It's the ACs in 4 and 4 Answer are still mecha. I think they're just poorly designed and feel like shit. Anyway, just to make this easy on me, checking out each of the ladders, I'm just gonna challenge the bottom ladder ACs in each one, just because obviously the higher up you go, the harder it gets. But one nice little Easter egg with this is that this is an AC design that I believe is on the cover of the Japanese box art for Project Phantasma, and is actually one that shows up in the in that game's CG opening, where it's just kind of showing off all the different ACs just doing whatever, because again, that was before they finally decided to make the CG openings for these games cool. Wonder if the new Kamiya game will come close to being a mecha game, or if it's more like Kaiju. He said it's part of his superhero trilogy, which is occupied by Beautiful Joe and Wonderful 101, which means it is 100% going to be his idea of how to make an Ultraman game. So I'm pretty sure it's still going to feel like very human. Yeah.
Because you watch any clips of Ultraman, you know how that motherfucker deals with kaijus.
Listen, I watched Shin Ultraman recently.
Oh.
He pulls off some moves in that fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because Beautiful Joe, that's his Kamen Rider send-up. Wonderful 101 is his Super Sentai send-up. It's natural that he would get in on, like, doing his take on Ultraman.
He's finally gonna get his they're gonna get the kaiju out of their system instead of putting it in other games.
Whatever, it worked very well in Bayonetta 3, I will say. Even though I still have, like, significant more problems with that game. Problems that I will say most people that seem to be down on that game aren't even aware are the problems that they should be talking about. Yes, I know the technical performance is bad. It's a Switch game. Big fucking deal. Yes, I know you have problems with the story. When has Bayonetta ever had a good story? Why are you playing a gameplay-centric franchise like Bayonetta for the story? You absolute fucking nonce. I guess we won't ever get a third-person action Power Rangers game. I mean, that's on Haim Saban to actually get his head out of his ass and, like, find the, developer that will, A, actually do it, and B, have him not be such a piece of shit. That, like, because I still remember, like, him just coming down hard on the people that were making, what was it, Chroma Squad. Like, you remember that fucking shit where he straight up, like, sued them for that?
Yeah.
Just because it's like, Haim Saban is basically, like, fucking, is basically like, what if Harmony Gold actually still made stuff and were still as insufferable in cock-blocking people's access to the actual, like, thing that people want? Because we all know about how much that they have just, like, stifled any other Macross from coming outside Japan for so long.
Isn't that also the reason why we didn't get, like, why they couldn't localize?
Yeah, it was
Super
like
Robot Wars for so
early
long?
on. I think it was Super Robot Wars Alpha, the Dreamcast port of that, where they were where people were actually trying to get that to kind of come over. Partly because I think that one had Gundam Wing in it, and Gundam Wing was taking off pretty strong in the U.S. So they were like, this will be a good through line, and people remember that other show that Macross was basically turned into a third of because it was 3 different shows in one.
Yeah.
But then Harmony Gold had to be dicks about it and proceed to still do nothing with it and have their CEO be convicted of like fraud, like actually go to jail for it, and still have had like a death grip on it. Yes, that other show. Like, that is for the sake of this stream series. Much like how I am not allowing the mention of, like, a certain, like, so-called ninja anime to be mentioned on here, which I have filed under the N-word offense, I am not going to allow that other show to be mentioned as it is under the R-word offense. I better not see any of you motherfuckers testing that. Well, no, you hit it right on the money. That one's a pass. Those are real ninjas. Ninja Scroll's fine. Anyway.
I think I know what the ninja show might be, but I'm not gonna say it.
Good. I'll give you a hint. This is also another plug in my case. Watch my Devil's Third playthrough, like my Let's Play I did of that game, in which my co-commentator accidentally, says it, and that's when I just came up on the spot. Please don't say the N-word on this channel.
You better believe it.
Yeah, that's your only hint. Don't you ever say the
There.
name. Don't you ever fucking say it, motherfucker. There's...
That's close. I'm holding him free. I feel like I'd be banned on ArcLight stream if I say it.
Okay,
I will
hold
not
on.
be
Maybe
allowed
this is too presumptuous of me. Maybe this is getting into like some like I would be crossing a line that I probably shouldn't. But is there like a word that starts with B that in like some other language also counts as an extremely offensive slur? Because I could add that as like being a B-word offense, even though that might not register for a lot of like our English speakers.
Maybe? I think I'm the wrong person to ask here for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just find like a let's just find some quad legs.
Yeah.
Get out of this madhouse. Trying to remember as well if there's like oh yeah, these ones are big and heavy enough. Yeah, we'll go with that. Those emotes. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, like my facial expressions and my ever increasing stages of pissed off. Anyway, quad legs. These are legs that will, I've described it before, allow us to use like our back-mounted cannon weapons while on the move, but only while we're grounded. If we go up in the air, we're not really going to be able to use them well, like at all. So, just needed an excuse to show that. True. Sometimes I forget it's still there, you know? I mean, I do also have this. I do have my Popoco mode. Alright. That means we gotta give more reasons to show them up. Well, there is a, there is like a 1,000 channel point redeem that you could do that, like, allows me to fucking, like, just switch to this for however long I feel like. Where the hell did he go? Oh, shit! Come on.
I think this is the first time I've seen him use the tank legs here.
Yeah, quad specifically, but
Quad
yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah, as you see, it's just kind of rolling around. It's quite different, actually, from how it's animated in the, what was it? In, like, the second gen onward, where they actually do animate each individual leg in, like they made a proper locomotion sequence for it, rather than just being like, yeah, you just glide across the surface. This dude's playing real keep away on me right now. Whoops!
He's
oh
fucking
shit!
shit up a little.
Yeah, but I fucked his shit up as well. Oh fuck! Come on! How's he not hitting? Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh! Wait!
Eat a dick!
Hey, look at that! You got it. Saved yourself from dying on stream again.
Yes, Aaron, you need to finish watching Pop Team Epic. Season 2 especially is really good.
It is very good. It's got some bangers of it.
It is. It does exactly like it does a thing that I had an inkling that they might go towards, and I'm glad they did, which was, now that Pop Team Epic is a known quantity and they got more money for the budget, let's spend it on even dumber shit. Yeah, I have seen Pop Team Epic. You think I was talking about the Obari episode like it was its own thing? Like I hadn't been following the show?
Forget about the Obari episode. How about the Hell Shake You Know Part 2?
Hell shake! Hell shake! Hell shake! Yeah, everyone did see the scene where they got Majima and Kiryu's voice actors for those two. Yeah, that was great. There's also the one where they got Raiden and Snake's voice actors for like the Battle Royale episode. That was a good one. There's also the one where they parody like young children's programming like Dora the Explorer. And it also doubles as a fantastic way of showing how you should deal with sexual harassers.
Yeah, just chop them up.
Chop off his pee-pee. Also read that Yoko Taro manga. It's hilarious. Oh, I need to get the motivation to like start reading more manga again so that I can also read that one, because I think I did see the one that you shared it in Discord, or someone did, where I think it was that manga's interpretation of Hideki Kamiya, who's just a Giga Chad, just this big, tall Giga Chad who completely intimidates Yoko Taro.
Wait, what's the Yoko Taro manga?
It's like it's the best way I could describe it is it's like a Yoko Taro's focused like manga about his time like is him going through the games industry. That I'm hoping the way on how it's been described is like it makes me think of the Gundam Origins manga, the one that was penned by the one that was done by the dude that made The Legend of Koizumi, where it's a super exaggerated biographical take on like the origin of Gundam, like how it was produced, how the series was made. And I'm imagining it's like this Yoko Taro manga. Yeah, that's what I thought looking at it. It is similar to Gundam Sosei, where it is that kind of just absurd biographical take, where it's like, yeah, there is some roots in reality, but it is being played up for huge exaggeration.
I mean, it's Yoko Taro. I would expect nothing less from her.
I mean, he is portraying himself as still having Emil's head from the original Nier as his mask, which, yeah. I'll be honest, though. I think this does highlight how much longer I've been a fan and aware of Yoko Taro's works than anyone else, especially those that like caught on to him with Automata. But I remember when like he did like some brief interviews for like Drakengard 3, and he still wasn't wanting to show his face, so he just had a fucking sock puppet. And I think that sock puppet is so endearing.
That sock puppet interview was incredible because he wasn't just doing like a joke interview. He was doing like a serious interview about violence in video games, and it was like this really deep and thoughtful like speech he made about it.
Yeah,
well,
I remember that. Kaiser Ryu even remembers that. Sup, dude? Yeah, it was like, and I think my favorite part as well. I think the way the sock puppet looked in particular is something where I think it makes for better meme potential than it just being, you know, Emil's head. Because that's still my first association above it being, oh, that's Yoko Taro's mask. Because it's, oh my god. Oh, this asshole's just, shit.
Yeah, that guy's... That looks like a jerk.
He was juggling me with those missiles, holy shit.
Yeah.
But at least with like reverse join legs is that you have like better air mobility and control, which is the idea behind it. Like really good jumping power as well. Oh man. I think he used up all his missiles. I think that was the thing. Because he's not hitting me with them anymore. Good job wasting your best weapon and not killing me, idiots. Actually, he might still kill me, though, even with his rifle, because I'm still getting hit occasionally, and I'm still missing a lot of my shots. Hold on. Let me get a better view of this asshole.
I noticed the lack of music during these parts too, or it's just me.
Music's there, it's just drowned out by all the explosions.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, nah, well, let's just show off the caterpillar legs and just be done with it, and then I'll switch the caterpillar tank treads as well as even more. Oh wait, no, I just forgot. Right, that's the confusing part about this fucking menu is that when you quit, it's like continue, and X is like, it's not continue to go back to the main menu, it's continue to try again. That's what threw me off. Which, yeah, it's been a long time since I've had to, like, go through all of the arena in any capacity, which takes a long fucking time. But if you do manage to get through it, you actually do get your own, like, you do get a second credit sequence that kind of highlights, yeah, good job, you managed to survive this immense feat, you know? Which was something that, like, I never was able to actually achieve when I did the Let's Play of this all those years ago. Oh well. Let's get some tank treads. Alright. right. Whew. Yeah, this has been a fun and very riotous stream today. Oh yeah. Just one last thing I forgot that I was trying to think of again to mention regarding our Yoko Taro discussion and the little sock puppet. Again, getting back to all that stuff with like the On Something Awful, because the good old Dark Id is the one best known for doing the Let's Plays of those Drakengard games and both Nier games in his trademark style. And like even the Drakengard 3 LP thread was hilarious, just for people just kind of contributing a bunch of like random nonsense and memes. And one of them that still sticks in my mind is one that involved like the sock puppet for Yoko Taro, whereas is the character 2, who is like one of the intoners who on the surface just and even when you get into a character, just seems like she is generally like not like the only character, one of the only characters in the series who seems to not be a complete psychopath and actually means well and does her best to be good, and is basically like her in a court scene where it's like, you have been tried on charges of altruism and being a good person, and then it cuts to the second frame where it's like a judge with like the wig and like the little gavel, but the face is replaced with his sock puppet. I sentence you to Drakengard.
Amazing. That's really good.
Drakengard 1 is definitely a thing to experience, for sure. And Drakengard 3, I would say, is definitely worth playing on emulator, because RPCX3 can actually get that game to run at 60 frames per second. That's true. It also makes like the game's parry mechanic like so brain dead easy, because you know that with how shitty the frame rate on that game was, that they had to like make the parry window for it so huge to make up for any frames that weren't able to be rendered in time.
Anytime I remember Drakengard 3, I remember the one desert area where the frame rate goes to die.
I still remember the most bizarre thing when it came to like when Darkid was LPing it. Like, he was playing it on his launch PS3. Like, he had like the original launch 60 gig model, and he basically put forward his theory where it's like every revision of the PS3 that you play Drakengard on has some different technical difficulty. Like it never has an issue in the same place twice. And I think, and his theory led him to believe that the launch PS3 is the one that has the least amount of problems, which is insane.
Holy shit. That is kind of insane, but also in line with Drakengard in a fucked up way.
Yeah. It's amazing. Hold on. I'm actually gonna swap as well to something different. Since I'm not saving over this, I don't care if I lose track of which weapons I had equipped. But I'm gonna get to like one of the back weapons you could equip that actually takes up both sides. You know, it's a dual back-mounted slot weapon. Oh yeah, and also because of certain parts that you might equip, whether it's like certain leg types or the size of certain arm parts, certain pieces of equipment will be impossible to actually attach. So that's another fun thing to keep in mind. Bear in mind, once again, this is probably the simplest that AC customization ever gets, at least as far as like the traditional style.
I'm guessing it gets way more complicated.
Oh yeah, if you ever wanted to like have heat management be an important factor in how you handle your AC design.
Oh god.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh wait, no, actually one more thing, because I realized with this one. Oh wait, no, never mind. I just remembered, because that has a built-in radar. That should be fine. And okay. One last resync, because I think this will be the last thing I show off for this. Actually, hold on. I wanted to at least see if this was the one where it's like... Oh, yeah. I'm not going to challenge this one, but this is a notable one where Well, obviously, like the text for like his bio is interesting because this says that like he is someone that survived the Great Destruction, you know, the apocalyptic event that preceded like the first game's events. But his AC is suited up in a way where like I think he's one of, if not the only opponent in this game who has his armor points, his AP maxed out to 9,999.
My God.
Yeah. That used to be the maximum amount you could get for armor points until the PS3 and Xbox 360 games, where they actually allowed you to go past that and went up to something crazy like you could get it over like 50,000 points. But at that point, it's like, as I grow older, I've definitely become like less enamored by the idea of like large numbers equals better, because it's like at some point it becomes superfluous.
Yeah.
Let's have a tank battle on the moon. I do
That
believe
sounds like
it
the
actually
perfect
has
way.
an effect on gravity, I think. Not like I would want to really bother with it, considering it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I would, because with tank treads, you can use back-mounted heavy cannon weapons even while airborne. Oh no, I don't think it does, actually.
Seems like the perfect place to have a tank battle on.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can imagine, like, with a tank build, you can see why a lot of people would resort to this as their way of, like, ensuring that they can get through these games, or most parts of these games, as quickly as possible, because it's like, yeah, I'll just DPS race these motherfuckers. Still got our good old replay system as well. Yeah. What a great game. Like, so much stuff. Obviously, a lot of the content is, like, favored towards, you know, arena fights, which, you know, like, if you're if there's, like, a person out there that, like, generally prefers it more when you have, like an actual, like, big mission setup, kind of like the first game does, I could see if maybe someone isn't all over this game the same way that I do. But like, fighting other ACs is so good, you know? It's the thing where, like, just the strength of, like, the gameplay and combat is where it comes out, like, the brightest. So it makes sense that they would invest so much in, like, so many different arena modes, and having, like, a main arena that is, like, interwoven so well with, like, the main missions, you know, thus fixing the core problem that Project Phantasma had, as mentioned before. And then, of course, like, I can never say enough praises about just the, you know, just the legacy of Nine-Ball, like, the impact that his, him in this game, his presence had on the rest of the series, that, like, you know, the Nine-Breaker term was coined because of our actions in this game. But even when it gets to Armored Core 3 and all the other games where it reboots the timeline, just even so much as the number 9 becomes, like, a status symbol in and of itself.
Yeah. That's, you know, wild. Like, the ninth, but I get it.
The 9th mainline game in this series is called Nine-Breaker. And that's
incredible.
Yeah, and that game is basically just one big training mode with the idea of honing your AC skills so that you are actually worthy of being of having the title of Nine-Breaker. They even have you fight, like, a new revamped version of Nine-Ball in that game. Not Nine-Ball Seraph, thankfully. It's just like, it's more like just it's like a regular AC version of Nine-Ball that you could make with parts if you wanted. Which, yeah, that'll be showed off months from now, because it's like, yeah, it's weird. I normally would not have pegged myself as being someone that would be, like, positive on a game that is essentially one giant training mode, but in Armored Core, and with how hard it is as a series, I feel like it's justified. All right, that's everything for first-gen Armored Core for this game.
Well, thank you for showing it to me. I've definitely gotten a better impression of these games. Like, I've always been curious about what these games are like. You know, you hear a lot about them, but I guess I just never seen it for myself.
Yeah. It's definitely, because even when I first heard of Armored Core, I was more familiar with what I had seen from footage of, like, the later PS2 games, just from, like, kind of a rare chance of, like, seeing them in, like, a friend's collection or whatever, back when the PS2 was the hotness of the time. Some say still the hotness now. Never was a better generation than that's for sure. But, yeah, it's definitely nice to, like, kind of get that perspective of where it all started, and then it kind of makes you realize, oh wow, they really did just do, like, gradual iterations on this exact same gameplay for 10 games straight until they just upended the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, this feels like something you can also get away with on the, like, the PS1 or PS2 era, where, you know, budgets are smaller and
yeah. It's a lot easier to justify, especially if you design it and price it around a way where you know it's only going to go to a niche audience, but you can at least design around it so that you break even regardless. Because it's like, I feel like the way that the Armored Core games went from the first game all the way to Last Raven on the PS2 is, I feel that's like an alternate path that the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games could have gone, where instead of feeling the need that every new game needed to be like, the next main numbered entry is like the big new thing, even though it's super incremental and like the additions stopped mattering as much, it probably would have gone over a whole lot differently if oh, that's weird. I feel like the sound just stopped on the. I think that might just be the disc. Actually, I was almost worried that that it was OBS that was fucking it up or something. But, oh, right, no, maybe it is. Yeah, fuck it, let's actually just quit out of this and, like, wrap things up before things get any worse.
Yeah. Well, there's no major,
God, now
like...
I'm not even...
Oh, I know what happened.
Oh, fuck, I'm not even hearing you now. God damn it. What the hell?
No!
I don't know, I tried unplugging and replugging back in my headphones. Okay, yeah, I do. Yeah. Although I didn't, but also now. Oh fuck! Wait. I think the
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. I think just for whatever reason, it like when I unplugged and replugged in my headphones, it also disabled like the audio output capture I had for like your Discord audio, so it wasn't showing up in OBS. Oh, thank God all these problems are showing up right at the very end, huh?
Yeah, at least they were happening now instead of earlier.
Yeah, just Jesus fucking Christ. OBS, you're never gonna stop giving me a heart attack over these kinds of things. Anyway, I guess final thoughts. Oh yeah, Tony Hawk would have been a lot different and maybe even better if it adhered to this type of model, whereas like just like they didn't feel the need to have the immediate next year be number 2 or 3 or 4 and just be like standalone expansions or something. Fuck it. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fucking hell, Activision. Anyway, thanks again for being on. Armored Core will return to this obviously like several months from now, when we get around to like 3rd gen. I have no idea yet like what the co-commentator scheduling for that will be, obviously, because we got other stuff to get to, including more PS1 games, such as Omega Boost, which, if you have not heard of that, let me be the first to state the controversial hot take that it is the only good game by Polyphony Digital, the creators of Gran Turismo. They made a mecha game, and I like it better than any of the games that they're known for.
All I know is Gran Turismo, and that's it for them.
Yeah. Also, I realize that next year the Mecha lands on the very start of next month, but believe me, it is not an April Fool's joke. Fuck you, your pranks aren't funny. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm not going to be the one doing the prank, but OBS is going to.
Yeah, it's going to find a way. Just you wait.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again. Well, we'll see you for like whenever like next game you'll be on, but I know next week's good buddy Kaboom Dragoon's going to be back on for that one. Yeah. Which, it's always fun to have him around for like for the really niche, very weird shit. Although Omega Boost is not that weird compared to some of the others. like, but yeah, we definitely get a lot to talk about out of just games that, you know, most people, like, completely forget or never hear about in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You all have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you
stopping
having me on
by,
again.
even with all the distractions.
Yeah.
and trying to goad me into saying, like, the words that I do not want said on this. Y'all take care now. Have a good one.
See y'all. Goodbye.
Game over.